This is another lesson in the little course of C# based on my book, The Little Book of C# Programming. Here I want to give you a quick overview of Visual Studio. So I'm assuming you've already downloaded a free copy from Microsoft, as I explained in the first lesson in this series. Load it up, select File, New, and then Project to create a new project. Or if you want to open an existing project, then File, New, Project Solution. Now, if you've downloaded the source code from bitwisebooks.com, you will have all the code that accompanies the book and that I'll be using in this series. So you want to find the solution file. That's called learnc#.sln. A solution file is one that links together one or more programming projects. So I'll open this. And you can see that they're listed here in this Solution Explorer. Now, the projects are arranged in these little folders. They are just folders that are shown in the Solution Explorer. They don't correspond to folders on disk, but they're a useful way of organizing the projects. So I've got Hello World project. That's the same project that I showed in the previous video. And if I want to open the form, that's its user interface, I just click form1.cs, and you can see here's my form design. And if I wanted to drag on other components such as labels or buttons, then I would just go to the toolbox and do so. I don't want those, so I'm going to delete those. Just select them and press the delete button. To switch to the source code, you can press the F7 key, or you can use these tabs if they're shown along here. And if you want to go to the default event handler, and remember I've programmed a mouse click event for the button, then double click the control. So it takes me to button1_click, which is the event handler. That's the code that executes when the button is clicked. Now let's go back to the design. Here in the properties panel, you can see that there are various types of property, for example, the size and the padding to be assigned to various controls. I'm not going to go into all these properties at the moment. The one that probably is going to be most important is this text property. So I can put in some different text here, and that will then appear in the button. And another property that we'll use quite a lot is the name. I might change this to some other name rather than just leaving it as button1, but for now I'll leave it as button1. Now the properties panel also shows events. As I've said, I've clicked button1, click, that's the click event, but in some cases I might want to click other different events, for example, mouse enter when the mouse goes over the button, or move, and so on. So in certain circumstances I might want to program other events, but for now I'm going to stick with the default event, which is click. Let's look at the code. This is my source code. Now let's put in error. In C# I need that semicolon at the end. I'm now going to try and run this program. I know there's a problem, so I'm going to click start to run it. And Visual Studio has found a problem as well. Do I want to run the last successful build? No, I want to fix the problem. So it pops up this window and it tells me the error. So I click the error and it shows me the line where the error occurs. It tells me I need a semicolon, so I put that in, press Ctrl S to save it, start again, and there's my program, and this time it's working. Now, if I wanted to switch to to run and compile a different program, then I would select the project in this window, in the Solution Explorer window. Here's my project here, and I now need to make that the startup program. So I right-click its name, and in this menu I go down to here, set a startup project, and now when I compile it, this other program, the one that I've just selected, is the one that starts up. The Solution Explorer, as I've said, groups together all these different projects. Now you can run one project in one solution, so that when you create a new file, it will create a solution with one project in. For my purposes, because this is a tutorial with many different programs in, I have made a solution with multiple projects. So whenever you switch to the project, you must remember to set a startup project before running and compiling it. That's a very simple overview of using Visual Studio. We'll be using it many, many times throughout the rest of this series. So in the next lesson, we'll actually start doing some more serious coding in C# and looking at the C# language. To learn programming in depth, enroll in one of my courses or read one of my books. More information at bitwisebooks.com.